Welcome to TF-investigator. Using this tool, you can analyze your own temporal gene expression data that comes from, for example, RNA-seq, and it contains different time points and different replicates. We assume that the data is normalized by the user before the upload. The tool combines gene expression data with a background regulatory network that is based on binding site analysis. You can upload your own gene expression file using this panel, and the format is explained merely by clicking on the information icon. You can see exactly how the file is formatted so that it's accepted by the tool, and also the network file format in case you want to upload your own network. You can also use your built-in regulatory network, especially if you have a human data. After uploading or choosing one of the pre-existing files, you click submit and you are forwarded to a page that contains multiple workflows. In case you are here for the TRC analysis, then click on TRC analysis. This page allows you to adjust the 3 parameters that controls the TRC model. The first parameter is the peak threshold. This is the minimum peak strength or the minimum correlation of a gene to one of the template peak patterns of one of the stages. Genes that have a correlation less than this threshold will not make it to the final cascade. Genes which have an expression that's less than the gene expression threshold will also not make it to the cascade. The last filter is the column size. This is the maximum length of each column in the cascade, or in other words, is the maximum size of the gene stage specific regulatory set. You can also choose to include only regulators in your cascade, or by unchecking this button you include all the genes. However, we recommend that you filter at first only regulators in order to capture as many regulatory interactions as possible and not be overwhelmed by non-regulatory genes in the cascade. After adjusting these parameters, you can click generate cascade or generate TRC in this case. Wait a few seconds, and now you can see that the cascade is being generated. You can see that each gene set or each temporal stage specific regulatory set is emerging one after the other. Genes in the same column are specific for the stage that's denoted on the top of this column, are colored in the same color. These stages are interconnected. These edges are based on the background regulatory network. Click on details, click on one of the time points, and you can clearly see one of the cascades. If you feel that the view is too big, just minimize the screen and you will be able to see in a much more inclusive way all the different options in the panel. Clicking, for example, on one of the time points, you can see the general expression of all the genes in the cluster, and you can clearly see that their tendency to peak at, in this case, time point D3. The peak strength is the average of all the peak strengths of the genes. This is the peak strength of the stage. The higher the peak strength is, the sharper the peak will be. Stages with a low peak strength will not have this nice sharp peak. Clicking on the options will enable you to get this set that's associated with the time point being clicked. You can use this set for further analysis. For example, for a geo-enrichment, in this case, you are forwarded to a gene ontology enrichment analysis that shows you the most enriched geo terms for this set of genes being clicked. You can also ask for correlated transcription factors and adjust the correlations accordingly. This will query all the transcription factors for the seed set that you just entered. These transcription factors will be colored with yellow, and more to come about this view. This is called the regulatory view, and we will explain it in another video in the series. You can also click on one of the nodes, check the individual expression pattern, incoming edges, and all its neighbors that are connected to it, whether targets or regulators. You can also click on one of the edges. You can compare the expression patterns of the source and the target. Clicking one of the vertical edges, you can also see again a comparison between the source and the target. A right click on the stage will enable you to see the intra-regulatory network, which is the regulatory network that's formed of the genes within the same column, those edges that are hidden usually because of the view. For example, if I click another right click on E3, I will be able to see the intra-regulatory network of E3. If you right click on one of the nodes that are not the time point, you can highlight all the sources and targets connected to this node. However, as the nodes are highlighted for examination, the view might be messy. In the end, you can always click repaint and the nodes will regain their color. You can also autofill and fill in one of the genes and it will be highlighted. Again, you can always repaint. This functionality will allow you to download an image with a high quality. However, this functionality is mostly limited available in Mozilla Firefox for now. We hope in the next version we'll be able to provide it in all browsers. This is it for the TRC workflow. There will be more to come about the other workflows. You can always go back, readjust the parameters, and go back again, or go back to one of the workflows and choose another type of analysis. Thank you, and we will see you in another video.